review pro wrestling. A lot happened this past weekend, so we're going to cover the highlights of a very, very busy weekend in the world of sports entertainment and pro wrestling. Before we get to that, I would like to remind you guys, as always, this is YouTube. Loves the algorithm. It loves when you hit the like button so you can tickle the algorithm. So if you appreciate videos like this, feel free to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and might as well hit the notification bell while you're down there as well. And in exchange for that, I will show you this picture of Jamie Hayter. That being done, now let's talk about some of the big stuff that happened over this past weekend. Of course, WWE had another premium live event. I did catch some of the highlights of it. It was Backlash, which has been traditionally now for several, well, I think a couple decades now, the post-WrestleMania PLE pay-per-view big event. This one had one match I was actually fairly interested in, which people are going to be surprised which match that is, I think. But it started out with Jacob Fatu defending in a fatal four-way match the WWE United States Championship against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. He did defend successfully the championship. This match highlighted for us New Japan fans by the debut of Jeff Cobb in WWE, something that's been rumored, well, not rumored, something that's been confirmed for a while now. Jeff Cobb had a very unceremonial departure from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was a tag champion there and then gave up the belt just to go to WWE and gave up a main event slot in one of the not the bigger events of the year, but a fairly decent sized important event for New Japan, that being the Wrestling Otaku show. His former tag team championship partner took that over, and Jeff Cobb had a very weird and lengthy online fight, passive aggressively, with TJP, for those of you WWE fans, right, remember him as TJ Perkins, and his wife, over what went on with the United Empire, which was the faction that they were both part of. So lots of interesting things happened in that match. I think Jacob Fatu, as the U.S. champion, this title reign hopefully will go a while. He is definitely a star in the making. If he's not already considered a major star, he's going to be a big star for a long time in WWE. And again, as for the Jeff Cobb thing, it's interesting that they paired him up with the Bloodline. I saw a lot of people who didn't know who Jeff Cobb was in the WWE universe, and you know, that's a topic for a different time about the WWE sweaties. We know how they are. Lyra Valkyria defended the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship against the man, Becky Lynch, and defeated Becky Lynch by pinfall. Pretty surprising there. Dominic Mysterio defended the Intercontinental Championship men's side against Penta, who he defeated. And the match that I was actually looking forward to, because I thought the angle was great, Pat McAfee taking on Gunther. Michael Cole got involved with this. He got shoved around. Gunther pretty much beat the crap out of McAfee for most of the match. McAfee did have some semblance of offense that got the crowd on its feet, but Gunther, of course, as he should have, won this match by submission, and later on showed his scars of war on his chest after the match on social media. In the main event, John Cena took on Randy Orton, the last time for this historic, I guess, rivalry in WWE. We've seen this match. This is part of the reason why I wasn't really excited about watching this show. Plus, there were other shows I wanted to watch this weekend. But I've seen this match 1,000 times. We've all seen this match a lot. It was one of the things that WWE used to get crapped on for in the 2010s, is the number of times we saw Cena and Orton. But this was the final time. John Cena does win, or sorry, should I say he wins the match and retains the WWE Championship. And afterwards, we do have some stuff that happened in the press conference. Triple H did comment on the choke slam that Damian Priest gave to Drew McIntyre, saying that it looked nasty, but McIntyre actually is going to be okay. And R-Truth interrupted John Cena's promo and got an attitude adjustment through the table. A rivalry that came out of the Summer of Punk that happened right before the Summer of Punk. R-Truth was catching on, and then Punk kind of sucked the air out of the room because his angle was a little bit better than R-Truth. R-Truth did have one match at that time as a heel against John Cena, which R-Truth was an interesting character at the time, but it does look like we're going to revisit John Cena and R-Truth, which for all as bad as the 2010s were for WWE, that was one of the very few bright spots that I can remember from that. So we'll see what happens going in the future with WWE. I see that it's about a mixed review from everybody online. I guess if you're a big WWE fan, I would definitely see this show, but I think if you're not, I think it's probably one you could probably skip. MLW had an event over the weekend. I did say I was going to touch on some MLW stuff in the future on the channel. They had their Azteca Lucha show, which is available for free on YouTube. So definitely go check it out. I did check it out on YouTube. The show it's this interesting mix of a lot of different kinds of wrestling shows that we've seen in the last decade or so. There is obviously the Lucha Underground influence here to some extent, but not a lot. MLW is its own thing, and the show was a good show. I would say I definitely enjoyed it for what it was. The tag team championships were on the line. Los Deporada, I'm just gonna call it Madness and Rugido, because it took me forever to pronounce Los Ingobernables de Japón. So Los Depredadores defeated Los Divinos Laguneros. I am having such a hard time with these names. Blue Panther Jr. and Dark Panther. There you go. A decent opening match. I enjoyed it. Alex Hammerstone defeated Satoshi Kojima. Kojima, of course, former MLW champion. He had a pretty good run as a champion with the championship there. Myron Reed defeated Azteca 13th. And Reed cut this kind of weird promo. Again, this is me not knowing enough about MLW to really go into detail on it, but the promo was significant. He did talk about he will serve justice. So again, if you're like me, if you're a casual viewer of MLW, it is something to look forward to and something to look into as well. Guerrero Maya Jr. and Hachicero took on Esfringe and Atlantis. This match was probably my least favorite on the card. It was okay, but I can't say that I can't really recommend it. It was okay. MLW National Openweight Championship in a three-way match. Ultimo Guerrero, one of my favorites. The champion defended against Zandokan Jr. and Barbado Cavanero. I'm going to mess up all these names. But Ultimo Guerrero did retain the championship. Full of pretty cool stuff in this one. This is a Lucha Libre match I definitely would suggest you watching. MLW World Heavyweight Championship. Matt Riddle, that's right, bro. He is in MLW. Defended the championship against Donovan Dijak, who I completely forgot about. Falling off the radar. Of course, the thing that Dijak, for WWE fans, is most remembered for, he was in that weird sort of Antifa faction or whatever it was called that they had a year or two ago. For the rest of us, we remember, of course, his amazing matches of Keith Lee several years ago that put him on the map. Riddle did win this match. His match did drag a little bit. Mads Kruger tried to cash in his Gravity Gamble briefcase. So yes, MLW has a cash in like every company does now. He tried to attack Riddle, but Riddle caused Kruger to hit Dijak in the head, and Riddle wound up winning the match because of that interference. So again, more storylines going on. Matt Riddle is somewhat the focal point of MLW, so if you have an issue with him, I do think I can't recommend MLW to you. Obviously, Matt Riddle, a very controversial figure, but the match it wasn't great. Like I said, it dragged a lot and some spots, but the last 5 minutes, the ending was pretty cool. And in a three-way match, Místico defeated Templario and Ikuro Kwon. Now, even though Kwon lost the match, he did kind of steal. He does have the stolen MLW Middleweight Championship, and that's how the show closed out. So overall, again, I'm not as versed with MLW storylines, but just watching this show, I think if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to enjoy it. There are a couple matches that you could kind of pass over, but I definitely would suggest the National Openweight Championship three-way. I thought that was fantastic. Oh, but we weren't done. There was still more wrestling going on this weekend. In fact, there was also a Collision show. I'm not going to cover the Collision show here because I didn't see it. But New Japan Pro Wrestling USA had its Resurgence show this past weekend. So there's so much going on. Fred Rosser defeated Matt Vandegrift by submission. Cool opening match. TJP, who I thought was done with New Japan, given all that crap with Jeff Cobb, as I mentioned earlier. But TJP is apparently still in New Japan. He's still in the United Empire. with Templario, and they defeated the world-class Wrecking Crew. The match I was looking for, one of three matches I was looking forward to on this night, because this is a long time coming. The old Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers took on the Bullet Club War Dogs, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, and Goto. Now, Goto should be the clue right there as to who was going to take the pinfall, and he did in this match. This was a cool match. It was fun. It's not the, coming off the big war that the War Dogs had, I wasn't expecting a big war in this match. It was okay. I had hoped for a little bit. There's some Easter eggs in here and there in this match, but it was fine for what it was. Tomohiro Ishii defended the strong openweight championship against Drilla Maloney, which is why he wasn't in the War Dogs match. Great match. Drilla, again, he's coming along as, the Bullet Club War Dogs. They are churning out some future stars here. And Drilla, who I always thought had the look of a star, he's now getting these positions. And if he keeps wrestling matches like this against Ishii and guys like that, he's well on his way to being one of those guys that, people are going to be clamoring for in the future. Konosuke Takeshita in the big rematch from Wrestling and Otaku, this time for his championship instead of El Phantasmo's, defended the Never Openweight Championship against El Phantasmo. I was wondering if they were going to do a Broadway. They did not. I think this match went just under 18 minutes. Takeshita does pick up the win and pin Phantasmo. So I do think there's probably going to be another match in this one in the future. I can't wait to see it. And, these two do have good chemistry with each other. It's something that I thought ELP needed for a while, was to have a rivalry like this with somebody as high profile as Takeshita. So it's pretty cool. Hirooki Goto, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in a semi-main event, defended the title against Zack Sabre Jr., and this match ended with a double pinfall draw. So I know some people, I got it wrong when I did the Otaku review, and I said that I thought the Dominion match was going to be a three-way, and apparently it was going to be against Zack. That was on this show. But now it does look like we're probably going to get the three-way with Zack, Goto, and Shingo Takagi probably involved in that match. We're going to have to see how that goes in the future after the time of this recording. And in the main event, Mercedes Mone defended the Strong Women's Championship against AZM and Mina Shirakawa. And surprise, surprise, Mercedes Mone, her luggage is going to be a little bit lighter. She finally dropped one of those belts. Talk about some sad news that, for me, was was shocking and very disappointing. Sabu, one of the ECW originals, the innovator, one of the innovators of violence, I should say. You should get that title. The guy that innovated the table spot. It was Sabu. People had done it before, but he hadn't really made it popular, and then other people started. In fact, he even got mad. I remember he was not happy originally when everybody started doing table spots. Now we see table spots everywhere and like 3 times a night on wrestling shows. But Sabu was the one to really make it something. And condolences to him, his family, and his friends for their loss. The wrestling community did lose another legend. And again, time marches on. He wasn't that old either. But Sabu did live a rough life, but I think he, from, looking on the outside in, I haven't heard, some people have rumors and stuff. You don't hear too much bad stuff about Sabu. You do hear, everybody's got people that don't like him, but I remember his matches in ECW. That's the stuff I remember him most for, because he was the first, in fact, I think, I'm correct. The first ECW match I ever watched, Sabu was in. So, lots of respect to him, lots of respect to his legacy. I hope he gets the shine that he deserves. Hall of Fames everywhere should be putting him in, including the WWE Hall of Fame, because he did wrestle in WWE for a short period of time. So, again, rest in peace, Sabu. And, yeah, we lost another good one. So, but that's it for this edition of the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. If you guys have any thoughts or feelings about Sabu's passing, some memories you have of Sabu, or you want to talk about WWE Backlash or the Resurgence show or MLW, whatever you want to talk about, let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Until next time, I'll see you guys here for more news, rumors, and commentary on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.